Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another Nerf review on the Nerf Loadout Arctic Zerostriker. So, this is one of 6 blasters that Nerf has released for the Loadout line already. 4 of them are just clones of, let me see, where is it? The N-Series Agility. And then there's this one, and then there's the Galactic Commander, which can be shown on the back right there. I will probably buy the Galactic Commander if I don't get it for Christmas, because I still have more places to go today. But I have not gotten it yet, so I'm reviewing this one. And this one, the Galactic Commander, were the only 2 different blasters Nerf released in the series. Basically the only 2 blasters in the series, because, well, the other ones aren't really new. They're things we've seen a million times before, and that makes me mad. So it has 4 attachments: the scope, the stock, and the barrel. And actually there's a bipod. I just read 4 attachments off the box. I can't count, that is 4. Okay. It has a 6-round internal mag. It includes 21 N1 darts. And I haven't read the back, and I'm already... Yeah, 6-round internal, they call it a clip, of course they do. Scope. Bolt action, it's bolt action. Okay, the stock has dart storage. Folding bipod. 1,000 plus customizable blaster combinations. Yeah, you can have the white barrel that comes with this blaster, or the blue one that comes with that other blaster. Yeah, I know, crazy. 1,000 plus combinations of a bunch of different attachments that are all the same attachment in a different color. Yes, that's something they actually did. They would include 2 of the same attachment, just in different colors, and say, ah, yes, you're getting 1,000 plus combinations of attachments. And I have gotten the blaster out. So this is the blaster without any attachments on it, or the bolt. Actually, here's the stock, so I have not given up on my torrent stock yet. Let's see if it goes on this. The torrent stock does not fit on this because it's so pathetically small. And like my other stocks, I probably won't use with this because, I'm sorry, but I mean, no one is gonna do this. My arm is above the stock. And like, imagine with a bigger stock, how ridiculous that would look. Let me get my actual stock to show you. How ridiculous does this look, chat? A piece of cardboard that comes inside the blaster. Interesting. Where is the bolt? Let me cut some more stuff out of here. Let me get the stock out. I'm getting the stock out. Here is your stock. This is the stock that you get. It appears to be able to hold 5 darts on either side with the dart storage. You guys can only see my head. I'm bigger now. I grew. So that's the stock. And yeah, this actually works really nicely. I like this stock. But I probably won't use this on other blasters just because of the way it's set up. Yeah, the blaster sits way below, like, I'll just show you. Way below the stock. And just, I'm not holding it like that. So, let's get the scope out now. And I want to see what they did with this scope, because Nerf has a lot of ways they approach scopes. One of them is to make what they did with the Prospect, to make it completely hollow. One is to do kind of like this, where there's two pieces of plastic in there, so it's kind of like iron sights. And one is to make it like this, where there's only one and it's completely useless. Just like, they basically just made it hollow. And they've been using the ladder option, and oh my god. But they've been using the ladder option recently, but looks like they chose the former. Oh my god, it's just like the Prospect scope. It's a hollow piece of... It's a freaking hollow piece of... It's a freaking hollow piece of plastic. I cannot stand this. Something I want to look into with this blaster, though, is that they made a new rail. And I did, no, I'll just put that. Yeah, but, they made a new rail. And I do not like this new rail. But yeah, they made a new rail for the Loadout line. And I don't understand why they needed a new rail. Because with the N series line, it was an N strike rail. But with this line, you need a different rail. Like, they're different things. I don't understand. And I want to see, does this go on to N strike rails? Oh my god, this goes on to N strike rails. That's nice. Okay. But I doubt N strike attachments will go onto this rail. Oh no, wait. Wait. N strike attachments go onto this rail. Nice. So, it's a different rail, but for all intents and purposes, it's the same rail. And actually, here's a theory. X-shot attachments, like the Picatinny rail attachments. That's still a no. That's not something that Nerf has done yet. But that's kind of cool that it works with N-Strike. This is a hollow piece of plastic. Hi guys, I can see you through the scope. With no piece of plastic in my way. It is quite literally one of those, like, I know, like, anyone like 12 or younger will not remember this because they're freaking Gen Alpha. And all they do all day is sit on Skibbity Toilet. But, see, back in my day, we used to... Leave a comment if you remember this. Remember when everybody would, like, roll up pieces of paper and, like, into, like, a cylinder and use it as, like, a telescope? That's what this is. It's literally that. But it's made out of plastic, so... Let's get the barrel out. Yeah, the barrel in the box is just held down by some cardboard. It's not actually held down by, like, those, like, thingies that everything else is held down by that you need to cut. Very interesting attachment method, because this is also a different barrel attachment. And there's actually... to show this. And this is actually very efficient. Well, it's not really helping you in any way, but it's not hurting you like they were in the past. They had before the faux barrel, I believe is what it's called, is this thing right here. and it's inside there, and it is harmful to performance. This does not have that. Usually they had the faux barrel before. Now they don't. So this is the new barrel attachment point. It's not end strike, I believe. And wow, this blaster is long. Very long. It's very long, giggity, as Coop772 would say. Now, I need to show you guys something I find quite comical that I found out from watching Aaron Esser. And that is, these attachments, these new attachments, go on to Nerf End Strike. But the old ones do not go on to Nerf End Series. This will not go on to this. But this will go on to this just fine. And that is confuzzling to me. Now, with the Nerf and like bleh, with the Loadout line, I understand that they have to make the barrel attachments bigger in order to make more space for the bigger dart, the N1 dart, to go through the barrel. However, I don't understand why that requires them, that's better, that requires them to just remove compatibility with end strike attachments. Because all they have to do is remove that faux barrel, which they did. They did not have to make a completely different nub. Ow, I hurt myself. Oh, I cut myself on my bed frame. I have this propped up on my bed. You can't see my bed. I found the perfect setup, but the perfect setup cut my finger. I'm bleeding now. Yay! But as you can see, there's a lot of extra space that dart really doesn't need to go through that barrel. There's a lot of extra space there. I have to do this whole video while I'm bleeding now. And why am I struggling to put this on? Am I still bleeding? There's a lot of extra space that, I mean, it doesn't really need to be that big that it needs a whole different attachment because of all that extra space that they left. So they're really just trying to phase out the old end strike stuff when it doesn't really need to be phased out. And here's the bipod, because I took it out. But they don't need to phase out the end strike stuff, that's my point. The bipod, let's put it on here. Is it gonna go on? Is it gonna go? No? Okay. Do it the easy way then. Okay. So, I have it standing up in front of the camera. I have to move the camera back a little bit. And, yeah, it's standing up. It's not falling down. It's not as sturdy as my other bipod. It's not as sturdy as this one. Oh, my camera fell over. That's not supposed to happen. It's not as sturdy as this, but it's not bad. Not horrible. And yeah, minus the bolt, this is the blaster fully assembled. So I see where the bolt is, so I should be able to get it out of here by ripping some cardboard apart. Yay, destruction. Ugh. It only comes with one bolt, and you put it on whichever side of the blaster your dominant hand will be on. So like if you're right-handed, you put it on the left, left-handed, you put it on the right. I am right-handed, so it's on the left. You pull back the bolt, it opens like a thing on the top. And that is where the internal mag is. And I guess that's also the jam door. Because that's how you access the inside of the blaster. And I see an unjamming button on the side there, I think is what that is. I mean, what else would that be? Okay. And let me get the darts out now. The darts, time to pop up. I'm ripping apart the cardboard that you're in. Oh god, they're all spilling. I have darts all over my bedroom floor, but it's the N1 darts, as it has been in recent years. These. That's what this series is all about. This series will be my final episode in the Problem with Modern Nerf series. But that, as I talked about in the last video, is going to be delayed for a little bit because the reviews that I'm making. Yay! And even though I've only made one so far, I have come to the conclusion that I like the reviews. So I'm doing those now. I promise I will finish the Problem with Modern Nerf series. I just have reviews to get out. So let's fire the blaster. I don't like the ones where you have to pull the priming handle back to load them, because it's just an extra step. But if I'm being honest with an internal mag, I don't really see a way, unless you always want the mag, unless you want a separate way to open the internal mag, where you always want it open, that I don't really see a way that you can really not make it necessary to have the priming handle back when you load the blaster. So on this blaster, it's kind of excusable. Of course, I would never use a 6-round primary. That's just simply too small. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And for this video, I gotta do it. So yeah, with this video, and I know I'm covering up the camera, I'm just getting out into my hallway so I can shoot the blaster. With this blaster, I'm just reviewing it as I would a blaster that I'm going to mess around with, screw around with. I'm not reviewing it a blaster for me, and I have to get my darts. I'm not reviewing a blaster for me to use in an actual Nerf war, an actual serious Nerf war, because, yeah, 6-round capacity is dumb, and I use flywheels, because, yeah, I prefer not to have to pull some kind of a handle every time I want to fire the blaster. But I'm testing the stock's ability to hold the darts right now. Oh, we have one slipping. I don't know if you can. Let me get the stock off. It will not stay. It's not coming out, but it will not stay put. So it's already failed. Yeah, I will not be surprised that if I run around with it slipping like that, it will probably fall out. So the stock already failed the test on its ability to hold darts in place. It hit the ground. That was my first shot with the blaster, and hit the ground. They supposedly shoot like 80 feet per second, which is 10 FPS harder than average. That's what I've heard. I don't have a chronograph, so I have no way to test. But that's what the N1 darts are hitting. And that was my last shot. It hasn't jammed at all. I'm not, honestly, it's not like an amazing like breakthrough of a blaster, but I like this. I really do. There's nothing bad about it. It hasn't jammed at all. I believe I had multiple, at least 2 jams in. I was unable to catch them on camera, but I had at least 2 jams in the last video with my torrent. And that was disappointing, because I only fired like 30 shots, and it jammed like twice, so this has not jammed in the 6 shots that I have fired. Now, the darts do not fly all the way back to me, but this is not hitting at 150 FPS like the Sprinter. I know I'm putting that in air quotes, but that's because, yeah, it probably doesn't actually hit that hard. I'm taking this bipod off because it's not actually that stable. I don't really like this. I know I said it wasn't too bad, but yeah, I changed my mind. Because it's moving around a lot, and I don't like it. So yeah, bipod stinks. Okay. Now I'm going to fire some without the barrel extension on. Yes, 3 attachments that really aren't. I mean, the stock look good like as a stock, but it doesn't hold the darts well. This the scope is literally just a hollow piece of plastic. The bipod is unstable, doesn't really work. So yeah, for like the N series version of Modulus, the attachments in this line, not really all that great. But let's test it without the barrel extension, because it doesn't seem to be doing any harm to the performance like Nerf ones usually do. And I'm not seeing really much of a difference, if I'm being honest. I'm not seeing that much of a difference between with and without the barrel extension. I find it weird. On the box of the Pro Sprinter, they called the mag a mag, which I thought was really nice. They don't usually do that. They call them clips all the time. And on this, they called the internal mag an internal clip on the magazine. The magazine? The box. So my thoughts on that are that either with Nerf Pro they're called mags in Nerf's mind, and with this they're called clips in Nerf's mind. With everything else that's not Pro, they're called clips in Nerf's mind. But another theory that I have is maybe internal ones are called clips and external ones are called mags. And I know they're called mags no matter what. But I'm thinking that's what Nerf is trying to say. And either way, no matter what they're trying to say, it's dumb and they should just all be called mags. So now that I've fired 24 shots, so basically 30. I gotta say I've not fired thousands and thousands of shots like Wacom F7. Why do I keep saying F7? Wacom S7 would have, but it's not bad. Also, notice they painted both sides of the blaster. They never, ever, ever do that. That I like. See, I have a lot of positive things to say about this. I do not have very many positive things to say about the attachments, especially the scope and bipod. I do not have very many positive things to say about the way Nerf is handling Nerf Loadout, but I have quite a few positive things to say about this blaster in particular, the Arctic Zerostriker in particular. I am quite pleased with the way this thing has been performing. I wouldn't probably use this. It's literally 6 rounds and it's a Springer. But I'm happy with it as like a bolt-action sniper rifle. I'm happy with the performance. And I guess I don't have much more to say. That's going to be about it for my review of the blaster. So subscribe. Did the thing glow? Okay, bye.